One of the most overlooked but fascinating parts of Watch Dogs 1 is how the game quietly explores the idea of digital immortality, how people's lives continue to exist in data long after they're gone, and how Aiden Pearce interacts with these ghosts without even realizing it. The game never states it outright, but it's everywhere once you start paying attention. Every time Aiden scans a random NPC, he sees pieces of their life, messages they've sent, debts they hold, medical issues they're hiding, secrets they'd never say out loud. And the wild thing is that this information doesn't vanish when someone dies. Their digital footprint remains. If an NPC you've scanned gets caught in crossfire or is taken out during combat, you can still pull up the exact same profile afterwards. In a way, Aiden becomes a collector of digital echoes, stories of people who aren't alive anymore, but whose data is still preserved, still functioning, still being analyzed by the ctOS system. This theme becomes even more interesting when you look at Aiden himself. He's obsessed with deleting traces of Lena, his niece, from every system he can access. He constantly pushes back against ctOS, trying to preserve what's left of his family's privacy. But at the same time, he's using the same invasive system to keep memories of others alive. It creates this strange duality. Aiden wants privacy for the people he cares about, yet he invades the privacy of strangers every few seconds. And Ubisoft reinforces this idea with little environmental storytelling details. Phone calls between characters you never meet, emails tucked into restricted areas, digital conversations happening above Aiden's head while he walks down the street. You get the sense that thousands of invisible lives are being lived around him all the time. And Aiden is one of the few who can actually see the threads tying them together. Another layer the game never fully explains, but is clearly intentional, is how ctOS uses all this data to shape behavior. For example, if you scan enough NPCs in wealthy neighborhoods, you start seeing patterns: higher salaries, lower crime rates, but more financial fraud and secret addictions. In lower income areas, you see the opposite: smaller incomes, more street-level crime, but also more community-based occupations and fewer hidden vices. Whether players realize it or not, the game subtly teaches them how a surveillance state stereotypes entire groups of people. And because Aiden is constantly using that data to decide who to help, who to exploit, or who to ignore, he becomes part of that flawed system, even though he believes he's fighting it. One of the most powerful examples of this happens during side missions involving crime detection. The ctOS predicts when a crime might occur based on behavioral patterns, but it's not always right. Sometimes Aiden intervenes in a moment where nothing malicious was going to happen. Sometimes he moves too late because the system misread the data. In those moments, the player sees firsthand that a predictive surveillance network isn't just invasive, it's dangerous. It misjudges people, labels them threats, or misses real crimes entirely. And Aiden acts on that faulty information as if it's absolute truth. It's a subtle critique of the kind of world Watch Dogs portrays, a world where data has become so powerful